What's good everyone, it's Fizzy here and today I'm going to be showing you how I made a Gunna type beat. So let's get into this guys. So to kick things off, I'm going to be starting off with guitar melody. I'm going to be using a guitar from Contact. So I just finished off making off the guitar melody. So I'm starting off with a B minor chord. So I'm going to go to the key of B. So I started off with a B minor chord and I just strummed it out and this is what it sounds like. So now I'm just going to add some effects and see what that does. So after adding effects, I added an EQ. So I just took out some of the bass and increased some of the highs. Next, I added an ozone imager just so it could be spaced out a bit more. Then I added a vintage chorus and I'm using the pseudo doubler preset, but I turned it down to 50%. And next I'm using an Echo Boy and I'm using my personal reverb preset and I also turned it down to about 30%. So next we're gonna move on to some pads. In fact, instead of using a pad, I think I'm gonna actually add another guitar melody. So just to complement the original one that we have. So for the complementing the guitar melody, I came up with this bounce. So currently that's in the center, but I'm actually gonna pan it to the right, and this is what it's gonna sound like now. And then I'm gonna now make this an 8-bar loop instead of just the standard 4. And just to keep things different, I'm probably just gonna switch up here. So instead of, I'm gonna probably make it come down like this. And then also here, I might just add in an extra note here. So next, I'm now gonna add some pads. And I'm gonna go to expand and I have a pad preset and I'm gonna be using the ambient resonance and I'm just gonna be playing out the chords. So next, I don't know what I think I should be going for. I might actually use a flute and I'm going to be using a flute from Contact, but I think I might end up changing that later. We might not end up using the flute. So this is the melody I came up with. I ended up messing up with the velocity and this is what it sounds like. And I'm currently feeling another pad and I know the exact sound I'm looking for. I'm going to be using something called the ambi horn from Analog Lab 5, and this pad just goes well with any type of Gunna Roddy Rich type beat. And then lastly, to accompany the guitar again, I'm just gonna finish it off with a piano. This has a backing element so that there's a bit of, you know, space taken up so that it doesn't sound too empty. So for the piano, I ended up copying the guitar melody again, but added this top line half just so that it just sounds a bit different. So I ended up just adding EQs to things now. So for the pad, I just added an parametric EQ. I just took out some of the highs and some of the lows just to make sure that doesn't clash with anything. And then for the flute, I then added Echo Boy again, but this time I turned it down to 61%. And then I added an EQ again, but this time I increased the high and the mid highs. Then for the analog, I then added another EQ, but this time I took some of the highs away, but I increased the mids. I then decided to EQ the piano. So now I'm gonna add a bit of percussion. So I'm gonna use a rim. So I'm now gonna add these open hats just to add a bit more bounce. So after adding all the drums, I'm now gonna start with the 808. And I have a particular pattern in mind, so let's see if it works out. So I ended up making the 808 melody, and this is what I have. I think I'm gonna add a kick in there as well, but it's not gonna be playing all the time and it's not gonna follow the 808 pattern. So I have everything that I need, so I'm now gonna move on to the arrangements. Yeah, so I arranged out the melody out and I then added a percussion loop, which I then half-timed it, and also a transition riser. So that's everything for the day, guys. Make sure to drop a follow and a like as well. Peace.